Welcome back to Open House Hamilton. Today we're here with Jennie Hamilton. She works at the library downtown Hamilton. Oh, did I forget to say we're in Hamilton? La 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 la, it's Dave and Ty. Leave a comment and be sure to press like.
Hi there, welcome back to, what is the name of our podcast? Open House Hamilton. It's still new, we're still figuring that out. Today I'm back with one of my favorite people, Jennie Hamilton. Am I allowed to say your last name? Should I run that back?
Yeah, no, it's all right.
Okay.
People know it. Who cares?
I don't want to expose you out there, but I always thought it was so cool that your last
I
name
know.
is
Yeah, it's all
Hamilton.
right.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool too until I've had it for a few years and it just becomes like,
A topic.
yeah, it's like people are surprised.
That's like one of the first things I ask you.
Yeah, and it's, oh, you live in Hamilton. Do you own Hamilton? Do you own this place? Like, no. And I just think of my husband and my father-in-law
Yeah.
who's lived with it all their lives. They're just like, they've heard all the iterations.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
That's fair enough. We met about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I guess I should introduce myself. Sorry. David.
Hi, my name is Jennie Hamilton. I am a Hamiltonian. I live in Hamilton. Been living here since 2008. Came to Canada in 2007. I work at the Hamilton Public Library in Central. I am a digital technology librarian. So I usually hang out in the makerspace.
We met a year and a half ago at the library at Sadia. I came across like an ad or something for this program, and I was curious because it was Filipino based. Mm-hmm. So we went, and that's when we first met you. The very first one, right?
Yes, you were at the first one.
Okay. So can you tell us about Sadia and how you got involved with that?
Okay, so Sadia Filipino Conversation Circle. It started with Filipinos of Hamon, which, I was friendly with the group, but wasn't really very involved with it. So it was a group that started around the pandemic, and it was founded by Jessica, who's still active in.
Oh, she founded it. Wow.
Yeah, with Annabelle, and I am. I guess because we're around the same age group, so Annabelle and I were closer to each other, and like our worlds.
I thought you meant you and Jess.
Oh yeah,
The same age group.
yes, yes, we will say that. Yes, we are all in that age group. Yes.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Yes, that's why I call you Tito Dave.
Yeah. I've got a question about that later.
All right, I think the truth will come out, but. So Annabelle's involved with McMaster. I am involved with the library, and our worlds overlap. And Annabelle got a micro grant from Office of Community Engagement in McMaster. It's just a small amount, and then she reaches out to me. It's like, I got this grant. Let's do a Filipino conversation circle. Do you think you can do that? And I was with program development at that time, so it would fall in my portfolio. I said, let me ask my boss.
That's program development for the library?
For the library. So it's mostly the focus of program development is more programming for adults.
Yeah.
And my portfolio kind of fell with newcomers, immigrants, that kind of themes. And, it was literally, I just popped my head into my boss's office and was like, hey, this group, Filipinos of Hamon, had this bit of money and, they were thinking, can we do Filipino Conversation Circle, can we provide the space? And she goes like, yep. So it kind of formed within a week, but we didn't put it, like, I think it was around spring, but because of how we schedule our programs, we started it in June, and it was kind of cool. That was June 12th, which is Independence Day.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah. So it was that quick. And then now we're still doing it. Annabelle has taken a step back because she needs to focus on her PhD. Mm-hmm. And I kind of took on a more active role. It's still happening in the library. So I guess a year and a half. It's gonna hit 2 years in June.
Brody's gonna kill me because I'm doing post-it notes. That's his thing. I didn't have cue cards. Do you know Brody? He's
But I saw that he was the interview.
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
He works out at Jackson Square actually.
Really?
He's you know Dope Chief Studios.
Oh, upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like near. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of the artists there.
Oh.
Okay. Are there other language clubs involved at the library?
There's always French conversation circle in some iteration because it is the other official language. I know in Central there is a Spanish conversation circle that happens. I don't know exactly the days they do it, but there's one, and then Spanish book club as well. They usually do it on the fourth floor.
This is at the same.
It's also in Central, yeah. So Spanish, French, and then Filipino.
Kylene and I have been doing these Spanish lessons on our phone.
Duolingo? Do you do Duolingo?
No. What is it? Air something? Air Learn? Air Supply?
Air Supply? You're all out of love? I'm so lost without you.
But in Spanish.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been doing Duolingo.
Yo soy without you. No, without would be sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my brother got into it and he said he talked me into it. So Kylene and I started it. We've been doing it daily for the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks now. And I am curious about if they have a Tagalog one because you do like 15 minutes a day, it's way more impactful. And there are similarities too with Tagalog, obviously.
It's almost a cheat, like for me, when I do it because
You're like, I know this.
yeah, there's a lot of words. The syntax of words are very similar. So yeah, it's not even really learning. I started with French, and then Duolingo couldn't understand my accent, and I got frustrated, and I switched to Espanol.
Because you have to speak into like the phone or
Yeah.
something. Oh.
Yeah,
That happens with my Spanish. My Spanish is so bad that they're like, I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I said that.
there is an app. I've been seeing it on my Instagram, Ling app, and I think it does have Tagalog.
Ling?
I don't know if that's the actual.
I thought that was like Mandarin or something.
Huh?
Ling, like Mandarin.
Oh no. It's like
Never mind. That was.
no, but I think they focus more on like Asian languages.
Oh, okay. So I mean, I was right in the ballpark.
It makes sense.
there.
Yeah, you are in the ballpark. But check it out.
I'm Asian, by the way, so don't come at me.
I saved Dave's butt.
Number 3. Do you remember a moment where you realized, wow, there's actually a big Filipino community here in Hamilton?
I've kind of always was aware of that because when I moved here, so 2007, 2008, a lot of the Filipinos who were in Toronto would have their weekend places here in Hamilton.
People are going for their weekend getaway to Hamilton?
No, because they would be live-in nannies, and they would live with their employer, and their weekend homes would be in Hamilton.
Okay.
So that was a thing that, you know, sometimes there would be a group of Filipino women who would rent an apartment, and there'll be like 10 of them there, but they're not all there at the same time. They're only there during their days off because they don't want to live with their employer the whole time. So I knew that, and then I also knew the Hamilton Filipino Community Center, that it was around. So I was kind of aware that there was like a Filipino community here.
Is that the one on
Across from McDonald's before.
Yeah, it's got that big mural outside.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. They took it down.
The mural?
The whole building, because they sold it to Metrolinx.
Did they take it down?
Yes.
The community center?
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
No,
It was
I didn't notice. Okay.
Yeah. So, and they bought new property out in Hannon, which is like, can't get there. So, I don't know what they're doing with that. But especially now, there's it's more prevalent. Like it's more noticeable that there's more Filipinos here, spillover from Toronto, right? Yeah.
That makes sense. Next question. Which library is the best and why?
Like in Hamilton or in
the world? No.
Which library is the best in Hamilton
in
or
Hamilton,
Ontario?
yeah.
In Hamilton? Well, obviously I'm partial to Central.
I really like that one, but I've only been to 3 libraries in the city.
I do like, I have a soft spot for Barton. I've worked there a few times. It's on Barton and, what's the corner? Milton?
Is that West End?
No, just here. It's like, if you're coming from this end, it's before Wentworth. It's across from the gas station.
Okay.
It's a lot of library staff would say like they don't want to go there because it's a pretty challenging neighborhood. But I've always had a soft spot for that place because the people who go there really appreciate the library service.
Good services, yeah.
It's always nice working at a branch because you get to know the people who come in. You know that like Mr. and so and so come in on Tuesdays, and you know he's going to ask you for horror movies or horror recommendations, or you know Mrs. whatever is going to come in and is going to start talking your ear off about, you know, the headlines. So you really get to know them and you see the kids grow up.
Yeah.
Some of them come in, one of them, when they came in, her youngest just gave birth. Like the baby was only a few weeks old. Now I think he's going to start kindergarten. And then the older brother could barely talk, and now he's like 7 or 8. I think his mom said like he has a girlfriend now. It's like, oh, all right.
So you see them through the steps.
Oh yeah, and with some of them, she's retired already, and she used to work at Binbrook. She saw someone who went to her children's story time grow up to the point that she had grandchildren, that she was taking her grandkids to story time. So I can't even imagine how old the staff member was.
Yeah, I was going to say, they saw like an entire lifetime.
Yes.
Several generations.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So you do see that. Even my coworkers who, you know, had their families, gave birth, and now their kids are like, are you kidding me? They're going to university. It's like, and I don't have kids, so I don't have those markers. So I just like, when I see their kids, like, okay, now I'm feeling old.
But you're familiar with the steps to see the big jumps is crazy. My only like thing that I can relate to in that sense is I remember when I was a nurse, I first started working on this floor, and the older nurses, I thought they were older, but they're just like my age now.
They're older because they're working.
Yeah, I mean, they're older to me, but they were talking about their children who were like, you know, 7, 8, and then every once in a while, if I go pop on Facebook, their kids are going to university. I was like, I'm old, not them, not their old. Oh my God, I'm getting old.
Yep, like those are my kids, my friends' kids too. It's like, no, one of them's like graduating university. Yeah. It's like, what the heck? And one of them is like, are in their 30s now, and I keep messaging her like she's my goddaughter. It's like, don't have kids yet. I'm not ready for that. It's like, all right, Nina,
Lola.
I'm gonna delay I'm not ready to be a Lola. And like, I'm okay, Nina, I'll delay my life for you. Just like sarcastically.
What's Nina?
Ninang is godmother.
Oh, Ninang?
Ninang.
Ninang.
And Ninong is godfather.
Ninang. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, it sounds like the library is more than books, obviously. What other programs are offered to the public?
That there's a lot. Do you want me to focus on children's and then
I mean, if you
go
could
up
just
on
like
age?
I mean, it sounds like it's very involved, but if you could just quickly run through some of the main ones that you think are most impactful in the community.
Okay, so I think you know, people love the library, and they have an idea what programs we have there. Story times, book clubs, stuff for kids, especially around times like March break and stuff, right? But what they don't realize, I think, is there are a whole lot of other programs that you can sign up for in the library. One of them is conversation circles, that you could actually find, communities in that kind of program. Learn new stuff or share your knowledge, because we do have people who attend who are fluent already, and obviously they don't need to learn the language, right? But are helping those who want to learn. Working in the maker space, we do offer programs that involve learning how to use the equipment. We have 3D printing workshops, and kind of goes through the basics of how to do basic 3D design if you want to design your own 3D model. Just basic, very, very basic. We have a workshop that teaches you how to use our vinyl printer cutter. It's sticker maker. We have a program that it's an audio recording intro. I don't do the program because I'm not really good at it.
Oh, that's the space you showed me.
Yeah. So in the
Yeah.
sound studio, we'll walk you through the basics of using GarageBand. We haven't done it in a while, but we used to have a video editing workshop. I do run a Canva workshop, which walks you through using Canva, which is a browser-based software for graphic design.
Yeah, we use Canva for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a whole lot of things, like you just need to look. There's some computer classes, like just going through the basics. We're starting to develop. We're going to develop programs that would address more common digital literacy stuff, like how to use Google Docs, or what is two-factor authentication, how to get on Zoom, like really basic stuff.
I think that's actually very helpful. I didn't spend a lot of time in libraries. However, when I was a child, when I first moved to Canada, that was really my first introductory period there. And my mom would sign me up for like classes there. So one summer she set us up with like internet classes, getting familiar with the internet for children, and internet safety. And obviously my favorite part was like the last 5 or 10 minutes, they're like, we can go play these Java games now, but JavaScript. But yeah, so I completely understand the benefit of something like that, especially as the internet continues to get trickier, especially with the safety protocols and just being safe in general. Yesterday I got a scam letter. This is a side story, right? Anyway, yeah.
No, it's like even we want to get into that as well, and now even with AI, so I'm involved in that, like trying to help, developing a policy and trying to launch this intro to AI program for the public. I'm gonna try one at the end of the month, and it's really not teaching you AI, but just like having a space where people can talk about it, because there's a lot of misconceptions about it.
Yeah.
People think it's going to be robots or whatever. What people don't realize is it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So
it's just more advanced language models.
Yep.
LLMs, yeah.
Yep. So so stuff like that.
Speaking of the digital space, how did the digital ransom affect these programs?
Oh, we had to do a full stop on a lot of them.
Sorry, for those that are unfamiliar with this, can you just explain quickly what happened a few years ago?
So was it 2024? Was it a couple of years ago? I think.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. It wasn't the library that got hit. It was the city of Hamilton that got hit by a cybersecurity incident. I am so well trained in media. We've said that so many times. So it was a cybersecurity incident. And I like how my coworker explained it. Because even though we have our separate IT in the library, our servers and the city servers are so intertwined. And we were mildly affected by an STD. So it was an STD. That's why we caught the STD. I was like,
There wasn't enough protection, guys.
I know, exactly.
And now the city knows.
Oh, yeah. And now we've split up.
Well, you've split
The
your
servers.
systems from the city. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose being too centralized leaves you at a disadvantage in that sense.
Yeah. And fortunately, and it was a weekend. I think it was a Sunday. Fortunately, like, whoever was on our help desk was cognizant enough, like they pulled our servers or cassettes or diskettes, our backups
really?
out of the server. The servers actually, they were able to pull out our information just in time. So we weren't really that affected, but, as safety, they really shut down everything. So in terms of programming, we were able to run things that didn't need
Like the internet?
the internet.
Or
So story
network-
times were able
network
to do.
activity,
It really impacted program development because a lot of our programs were digital literacy programs.
Yeah.
And even like for the first few weeks, I think it was just so hard to do work because we couldn't get internet. We were running off of our manager's cell phone hotspots.
Oh, that phone bill is going to be crazy.
And then they stopped it. It was like, no more. It was like, they realized like, oh, that's not a good idea. I think the challenge for me then was, so it was the end of February. I was in charge of the tax clinics, and I had a tax clinic that next weekend, so the volunteers needed Wi-Fi to help do the taxes. So yeah, there was like personal hotspots, and we worked around it. We didn't really cancel any of the tax clinics, and we did record numbers. The volunteers were able to help, over 1,000 people, which was great. But that was like the Monday, so it was Sunday, the Monday. It's like I went into my manager's office. It's like, I have a tax clinic on Saturday. How are we gonna do this?
Yeah.
So, but we did it. So
Well, that's crazy, though. I think what's interesting is just hearing how many things you're involved with. And I don't know if that's just a reflection of me or the general public, but the way I see it, I don't know if everybody knows that all these programs exist,
yeah,
but maybe also to the benefit of those that already use it. Because if everybody decided to go and use these programs, then you might be there might be a higher demand that perhaps the library cannot keep up with.
I don't think that's a really good problem to have, though. I don't
suppose
think
so,
that's
yeah.
an issue, right?
If the public were, yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I mean, we go bonkers for a little bit, but might have to end up, instead of doing the program once a week, we might have to do it like twice a week or offer it more times.
Would you say the library is well funded? And to that, is it funded directly by the city?
I think 90, what was that number? It's like almost 100%. So a high 90% comes from the city. And the remainder of that, like there are donations that come in. We're lucky that the library is well loved by its community members, by its citizens. And honestly, even with beginning of the year, there's always like budget conversations. The library and the city have a good relationship compared with other cities like Toronto. It's like we always get our request. I think the library is fiscally responsible, but we could do with more people so that we could offer more services. It's
Yeah.
hard to offer more with less. So
Yeah, I think that's what I was just sort of alluding to. If it's anything like the rest of the way municipalities function, everything tends to be on a tighter budget, which is very restraining. And it's hard because You know, one of my goals is actually to speak to Andrea Horwath.
Oh, it might not be her.
Well,
I don't know. We'll see.
which would be a perfect time to try to talk to her now because, you know, she might want to answer the public. I've got some questions. But it's a tough position, whether it's her or somebody else. There's always going to be people who are just not happy because if you're taking the funds out of somewhere, somebody else is going to like benefit and then somebody's going to suffer from that. And there's just not enough to give to everybody or all the services.
Yeah, but politics is so crazy. Like I've had people even in the Philippines, like, and here it's like, why don't you go into politics? It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's like, because now, it's hard to stay true, and I really admire people who go into it who are career politicians. I told them, I guess the closest I would be is like, I'd rather be the chief of staff of a politician. I don't want to be the politician.
Right.
That's where the fun stuff happens, and I'm probably not going to sleep ever again and die of like, I don't know, stroke because of all of the stress. It's hard because now there's a lot of bargaining and trades and, you know, owing people favors behind the scenes. It's hard to stay true to yourself. And those who stay true to themselves while they're in office usually do not last long.
I was just going to say that.
They're not around anymore.
They're not in the office anymore because...
Or there's a movie being made about them because they were assassinated. I'm sorry, it's like the Filipino background happening now. It's like you try to do what's good and you're getting shoved aside. So it's a tough path to be on.
I am thankful for those that do take it. Somebody's got to. Because there are times when people that are clearly not the right person to go into politics do, as we are in a world that exists where that is very apparent. But anyway, I think we're getting too heavy. Let's get back to libraries and Filipinos.
Yeah, let's just do stupid stuff now.
I'm enjoying that talk, but I don't know if
we can keep talking
I'm
about
the best
it.
equipped to rally for something like that right now.
But I think we are the perfect people to talk about it because we're the ones affected by all their decisions.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I say that in the sense that I'm relatively new in the public space. You know, I've really only taken to this the last couple of years, just putting myself in front of the camera. And I think the one thing that I'm battling with is speaking my mind more so. I think I'm too cognizant of the idea of getting scrutinized publicly for my opinions. But I have a lot of opinions like anybody else, you know, and...
I'll say it for you. I'm in my DJF era right now.
You just give me a couple of years. Let me get comfortable and...
When you're Lola Dave.
But, you know, I think with conversations like this, it'll naturally just come along. But I do have some other, hopefully, good questions. For instance, you mentioned you work in the tech and print section or department.
Digital technology.
Digital technology.
But fake IT. I'm not that techie.
Well, techie enough that you can introduce it to everybody else. So, what's the coolest or weirdest thing that's been 3D printed at the library that you're allowed to talk about?
Well, we do have rules that...
Well, I imagine people are trying to break them.
Yeah. It's very, very clear. We do have rules on what you can and cannot print. Like, so if you're printing some weird stuff that's 18 plus, that usually, like if you try and go to those
No sexy figurines.
websites, well, that's even like, you know,
Borderline.
yeah, I'd ask my boss, it's like, can they print this? But if it's like,
I got to tell my brother, he would enjoy that.
no, I'll have to keep an eye out for the last name. It's like, I know this guy, I know this last
No,
name.
he's printed me some cool things at the library in Windsor, so I was curious. He printed me like a Gengar. It's Pokemon.
No, weapons, you can't do that. Even if we know.
Thankfully.
that it's, it's for a cosplay. Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
do that. It'll make me pause for a bit. Anything, what would be the coolest thing? I like the ones that are articulated, like
Right. So they're
just one print, but they're
printed,
moving.
but they're all interlocked. Yeah.
The dragons are really popular. Like if you go to the summer festivals, there's so many vendors who print
Halloween
that.
has like a dragon thing like that.
And you print that you buy it from them. There's like $30. You go to the library, it's like not $30. I can tell you that. I think it was in the early days, because we've had 3D printers since 2016. There's this one guy who said he wanted to print an ice pick.
Ice pick?
An ice pick using the 3D printer. I said, why? And I was telling him, it's like, no, you can't do that. It's like, well, it's not a weapon. It's an ice pick. It's like, no. It's like, if you want to insist on that, well, it's not going to happen today. I'm going to talk to my manager. I'm not the one who's going to say yes to that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a proof of concept. It's like, I'll tell you the concept. It's not going to work. It's plastic. It's not going to work. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just get you one from the dollar store. How about that? It was just being very pushy. So that kind of 3D interaction kind of stuck with me. It's just like, why would you print an ice pick? It's not going to work. You're just going
Yeah.
to waste your money.
The motives sound questionable there. Now, you mentioned the dragons are not $30. Can you briefly explain how the pricing works? Is it relatively affordable then?
Yeah. So if you're doing a 3D print in the library, I think a lot of people think that they need to know how to 3D design and use the 3D printers. Don't have to worry about that. It's always staff who will operate the 3D printer because there's hot parts in it. And if someone gets burned, that's a lot of paperwork. For models, some people design their own, but you can go to websites like Thingiverse or Printables and download them. So when you go in, you bring the file, we'll help you slice it, and how we charge is it's 10 cents per gram. So they're not heavy.
Yeah.
So, and then the minimum is $1. So if your print is, less than $1 worth, like the
You still
minimum
pay the
is,
dollar amount.
yeah,
That's super affordable.
I know. And we're actually, it's a little bit too cheap, but
It's for the public.
we're not, it's cost recovery for us. If the price of the filament goes extremely high, like we just changed our price for large format printing because the price of the paper really went up. There might be changes, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. There's a process to request that, so it'll take maybe at least a year before we actually raise the prices if we plan to do it.
Have you printed anything that you use, whether at home or you keep on you?
Like usually phone holders.
Oh, yeah?
Those are just like the quick one. Like I print boring practical stuff.
The practical is good. If I had a 3D printer, and that's one of the things that I would want to get at some point, I'd probably be always just trying to figure out how can I better my life with just like little things.
A lot of that. I do see a lot of people do it that way. I
Probably
haven't.
like a lot of holders actually, like a spoon holder or a camera holder or whatever.
Stuff that would you'd go get at a dollar store for $5.
Yeah, but then you could say, I printed this.
Yeah, I printed this for like $10 now. But I made it. No, it's like initially, yeah, those were the things that I printed: phone holders, phone cases, like chintzy bookmarks. The designs are cool, and that was in the beginning. Now I was like, I guess I'm not too. I'm just bored with it now, or like I'm just not that into it. But I know my coworkers print, like they a lot of them play Dungeons and Dragons, and there's a lot of Dungeons and Dragony stuff
So they
around.
make like their figurines.
Their figurines or the actual dungeons, their setup.
Oh, that's so
I'm
cool.
just married to a nerd, that's why I know about it. But
Yeah, no,
I
my
don't
brother
play.
plays that. Honestly, he would actually benefit from a 3D printer.
Yeah, and they're so cheap now. I've actually
They're getting better and better.
Yeah.
They do a lot of functions too, where they'll inscribe things now with like tools and yeah.
yeah, they're cheap, and we have like a pricier ones, and even then, like they're not that expensive anymore. But we also like use them to death. Like these 3D printers were not meant to run as much as we're running them.
Almost commercially.
Yeah, yeah. So we tend to kill them fairly quicker. But if you're just going to buy, like, I think Canada Computer sells one. It's like 200, 250.
Does Costco sell them? Because then if they went down, then you could just go exchange
They
them.
might. They might. Sooner or later, they
They
will.
probably will. I just bought a printer from there
Mm-hmm.
solely for the fact that if it goes bad, I'll just go exchange it with it.
Yeah. So it's worth it to have one at home now.
Yeah.
It's at a reasonable price.
Awesome.
So what else? As long as there's no math questions.
Math questions? No.
Yeah, don't.
I mean, this is a bit, we referred to this one earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on becoming an older Filipino?
That was the question.
Are we Tito and Tita status? Am I Kuya? Hati?
What?
And to just add to that, there's the whole thing where we're already like millennials, aging millennials. But then there's the aging Filipino factor on top of that. And with Filipinos, there's that hierarchy. And I think the problem, much like being an aging millennial, is we don't feel like we're older, particularly those who have not had children yet. But then you're expected to be this other role.
I love that you think I'm a millennial. I'll take it. Not quite there. I'm actually Gen X. I think having grown up in the Philippines and that those honorifics were really just drilled into us. And I've been called Tita when my friends started having kids. So my friends,
Yeah.
my childhood friends, we all grew up together. So we're more like the kind of relationships we have, especially with the close ones, we're more like actual siblings or cousins.
So, Tito, that's like uncle.
Yeah, uncle and
so that makes
auntie.
sense.
So that's why their kids would call me Tito or Tita.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess when I was younger in the workplace in the Philippines, even though your coworkers, if they know you're a little bit older, they'll start referring to you as ate or kuya because, older sister, older brother. Just a form of respect. It's really
Yeah.
very hard for Filipinos to just call someone who they know is older in age just by their first name.
I'm having a hard time with that now as I'm meeting more Filipinos. I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm sometimes reminded that I think there's that expectation of the honorifics, but it's so different than, I guess because I don't say sir to people either. I might address them by their last name, like Mr. or Mrs. blah blah blah. But also, I feel like I'm a old man myself. I'm like,
It's like a way to, well, even back home, they wouldn't call me, I had a team, so I was their boss. They wouldn't call me like Miss Boral, that was my maiden name. They'd call me Miss Jennie, like to sort of like balance, like I'm respecting you,
Right.
but I don't, like I know you don't
You're
want me to be
cool. Yeah.
formal. So they would do like that. Also, if you go to the Philippines, you go like ma'am, sir, ma'am, when you order at a fast food place. It's always there. What was the question? Like with those honorifics?
do you feel weird about it? I guess
No.
in the same way I'm experiencing right now.
No, it was just weird. I'm not surprised that people, younger Filipinos jump to tita right away instead of ate.
Do you feel like going like this?
Now, I just joke around, but there's advantages. Like when we were in the Arnis workshop, so when they were putting the classroom back together. So all the FMSA members were there, and I was like helping, and one of them was like, Tita, we'll do it. Just sit down. I was like, oh, Tita, sit down. And I was like, you know what? I don't mind doing that.
Yeah.
Because 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was like the one doing that. It's like, I think I've earned my spot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's advantages.
Fair enough. Maybe I should just lean into it. Yeah.
I lean into it like what I did with my Instagram.
All right.
Yeah, so it's just...
Well, I'm thinking of Coolio Rex. Rex is one of my monikers from a different lifetime. Anyway.
I'll still call you Tita Dave, though.
Tita Dave, thanks. I am turning 40, which is a big part of why.
So you're born 86?
86, yeah. Actually, I'll be turning 40 on... What is today? 14th? So in 11 days. 11 days.
April. Oh, wait. What?
March
14?
No, today is the 14th.
Yeah. Oh, in 11 days.
Yeah.
So March 25?
25th, yeah.
Ah.
I always welcome my birthday because it's just days after spring starts. Historically, I've always had good weather.
No, it's going to snow.
No,
it's like we jinxed it.
You don't say that to me. Don't ever say that to me.
We jinxed it. It snowed yesterday. So awful.
No. I'm not going to listen to that. What surprised you about Hamilton? And also what brought you here?
What brought me here?
Sure, let's start with that.
Let's start with that. Because I pretty much had no choice because, well, we were still dating. So it's Mr. Hamilton that brought me here. So he's living
you met
here.
him elsewhere?
Yeah. When I got to Canada, I first lived in Fenwick. That's where my friend lived.
Fenwick?
It's in
Ontario?
Pelham, yeah.
Okay.
So the closest, I guess...
Niagara region?
Yeah.
Nice.
They didn't know what I was. It was like, there were a lot of greenhouses there. There were a lot of Dutch people. But there was also a lot of seasonal Mexican workers. So I stayed with my friend. It's like, that's their family house. And their neighbor was so white. Their neighbor, when he sees me, keeps going like, hola. And I was like, I told my friend's dad, it's like, is your neighbor like Spanish or Mexican? Because he keeps talking Spanish with me.
When you're saying ¿Cómo está?
Yeah, ¿Cómo está? It's like, hola. And then we were just laughing. It's like, is your neighbor? But their neighbor was like super white. I was like, is your neighbor Spanish? Because he keeps talking Spanish to me. And the closest corner store was like 20 minutes away, like walk. And the people there kept talking to me, trying to figure out what my accent was. But, my accent's like fairly neutral. And unless I see other Filipinos and I get excited and the Filipino comes out. So they didn't know. It's like Chinese, Mexican, Filipinian. That's what they would say. It's like, yeah, yes, I'm from the Philippines. So, and then I met Thomas online. And then we started dating, and eventually I moved to Toronto.
You met him in Canada.
I was already in Canada, but even in the Philippines, I was already online dating because I worked in call centers, and that was a night shift. I really didn't have a normal life, and that was the only way I could, really meet people. So yeah, we started, met online, and shortly after, he was very good at meeting up. Then when I moved to Toronto, we meet up every weekend. And then eventually he said, you know what, it's cheaper if you just moved in with me, even if, I was an undocumented immigrant, so I was working a cash job in Toronto. I said, if you move in with me, even if you're in Hamilton, it's still cheaper to go back and forth Toronto.
Are you allowed to talk about that right now? Are you still undocumented? Should I delete
Dude, I'm working in the library.
I don't know. Maybe you're still working for cash. You tell me.
I am a Canadian citizen now. I did my oath-taking ceremony the first Lincoln Alexander Day. So
no, I'm just messing. But
no, it's
also being serious. I don't want to get ice called on you.
There's no ice here.
I know. I'm kidding.
No, it's I'm okay talking about that because they can't go after me anymore. Knock wood.
That's universal,
Huh?
Knocking
Knock
on
wood.
wood. Yeah.
Knock wood, really?
My grandma used to do that when I grew up in Jordan. That's how I learned about it.
Oh, is your
Yeah.
grandma Filipino or like the not Filipino side?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so that's what brought me here in Hamilton. Been living here since 2008. I got to Canada 2007. And what surprised me in about Hamilton is there are people here who's never ventured outside of Hamilton.
I think you'll see that in a lot of places. But
But it's not that remote.
yeah,
It's like weird. It's like a big, small town.
I think it's the perfect size city.
Yep.
It's big enough that you have options for anything you're looking to do. And frankly, we're close enough to other cities that if it's not here, it's right nearby.
It's an hour away.
But you're not like drowning in the congestion of cities like Toronto.
Or Manila.
Or
Toronto's
Manila.
nothing to me. It's like,
Yeah, like the metro cities of the populous world.
so that's it. And it's like, people know each other. I think it's easier to know each other. It's like, it's happening to me now that, oh, I know them from this. And then you would know someone will know
Well,
someone.
it's funny because I started running into you around the city like shortly after we met, and it's funny because we lived here since 2018, and we like never ran into anybody because we didn't know a lot of people really, just through work and stuff. But yeah, it's funny. It becomes a small world very quickly.
Last week we went to Toronto, me and Annabelle. We attended that. We watched one of the movies in the Cine Film Institute, like the Filipino movie film festival
Oh, we
in
just
Toronto.
started following them on Instagram.
Yep, they're pretty good. They do good movies, and it was a small theater. It was one of the TIFF theaters. And we went in, and I think easily between me and Annabelle, we probably knew everyone. And this is in Toronto, and it was just fun because a lot of the people we know who do similar work are based in Toronto, so we all saw them there. It was just like, Jennie, Annabelle. It's like so loud. So
Well, Filipino parties tend to be.
yeah, and that's starting to happen more and more often with me, which is nice. But also sometimes I just don't want people to see me. I just want to like disappear. Just don't want to move around like no one knows me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask more about Hamilton.
Yep.
But I think you already covered quite a bit of that just there. Okay. I think we're running near the end, but if someone wanted to, or someone listening wanted to experience Filipino culture in Hamilton, what would you recommend?
Ooh, that's actually kind of tough. I think the best way, and it's not constant, the Hamilton Fiesta event that happens.
The extravaganza.
Yeah, the extravaganza that's organized by Ate Weng, Mayor Win Lorenzo. It happens the weekend before the civic holiday. So it's the last weekend of July.
I've never gone to them.
You have to go. Let's make sure we go this July.
Is it July or August? I
July.
always thought it was in August.
July. They did it. She purposely scheduled it the weekend before the civic holiday because there's another one because they travel like
They travel,
it's different
I was
groups,
gonna say, yeah.
right? They have main organizers for each city, but so she's trying to avoid the long weekend because that long weekend I think it's Niagara Falls who does theirs. So if you're in Hamilton and you happen to be around the city at the time of the fiesta, that's a good place to really find out where the Filipinos are because
Is Tanim gonna have like some sort of involvement with that?
I don't know this year. Last year we were there, but there's just three of us.
Yeah.
Three of us. It's very labor intensive. We'll help promote, but I'm not sure yet if we'll have something that's there. That's a good place to experience Filipino culture, but
It's just one time a year.
I know.
I would suggest probably Sadia.
Sadya, yeah, I was gonna
I know I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. So it's
Sadya.
Sadia.
Yeah, Sadya.
Okay.
Or like do dy is a J sound, so Sadya.
Sadia. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's also a good one. Like monthly, we try to do it monthly,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
it's a good place to connect with other Filipinos, like maybe OG Filipinos, Filipinos who grew up here,
Yeah.
and those who are think of themselves as Phil-Canadian. Like that's what I've learned through that. It's like there are a lot who are like in between, and I think that has been a space where you're okay. It's okay if you don't think you're Filipino enough or you're not Canadian enough. You're Filipino-Canadian, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the defining things about it. It's you get a lot of Filipino Canadians who are not in touch necessarily with their Filipino roots. We kind of saw quite a bit of that at the Arnis workshop through the FMSA. It was surprising for me to hear so many of them being like, "Oh, I was the only one also that grew up like that," because I grew up in a very white town, and but they also didn't know what I was. They still don't know what I am. It was something. There was a moment when people were speaking, and I was just reflecting on how that felt, and I was like, "Oh my God, I don't feel alone in that."
Oh, yeah.
In that unique feeling. It's not so unique. Yeah.
And you'd think I won't feel that way because I was fully formed when I got here. Like I was in my 30s already. And I'm still in my 30s and I've been here 20 years. So
Yeah.
imagine the math on that one. No.
My mom was 36 for 16 years.
Oh, I'm getting there. I should be your mom. We're the same age now. But I did feel that.
Yeah.
And
I can understand that if you were coming here, yeah.
just I don't know, almost sometimes defending being a Filipino because their only concept of Filipinos is what they see in the news, like nannies, caregivers, or Filipinos taking advantage of, foreign males and marrying them.
I think of it as the other way around. Foreign males trying to take advantage of
There's
the
that too.
disadvantaged, disenfranchised.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
That said, my mom's been married 3 times, and
I gotta catch up. I have to tell Thomas that.
she's collecting rings like the Infinity Gauntlet.
2 more.
I'm just kidding.
Tita, 2 more.
She hates that joke.
I take it back. Stop at 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, knowing that, and I think at a certain point when we were doing the Sadya, I thought, you know what, if I can be that, because there's also that concept of the toxic tita who's just very critical. It's like, oh, eat a lot. It's like, oh, eat more. It's like, oh, you're too fat. Stop eating. Oh, why are you still single? Why don't you have kids?
It's a very fine, like, space where you don't get the criticism. It's you either didn't eat enough or you ate way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Zoe,
Yeah, the bachoy.
I got that comment a lot.
Or and in that, like, seeing these Filipino Canadians, I just try to be that supportive tita
Yeah.
to them, that you can look. Even my friends' kids are like, they know they can talk to me and ask me like the weird questions that they can ask their moms. And some of them, my friends, like, well, if so and so messages you and asks you about this, can you just like talk to her about it? Especially the sex stuff. It's like, and I tell them, it's like, they probably know more about sex than me, and that just freaks them out.
Like their parents?
Yeah, their parents would ask me, if, can you just talk to them about it if they ask? Because I don't know how to talk to them about it.
Right.
It's like, I just try to be that supportive older person to them that you can ask me any
The
questions.
cool aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll buy you booze. But they can probably buy booze on their own. But you know what? Like, I'll help you. Just call. Because that's what I find. It's like a lot of them can't talk to their moms.
I think that probably applies to most cultures. I think that's more of just a generational thing.
I couldn't talk to my mom. Like, I'm afraid.
Yeah, my conversations with my mom for things like that were like very brief. Like, do we need to have this conversation? I was like, no, we don't. I figured it out. She's like, all right. She's like, okay, just making sure.
Bottling it up in denial.
Just making sure that somebody figured it out with you. Okay, bonus questions. What Filipino dish should everyone try at least once?
Sinigang.
I don't know if I've ever actually tried it myself.
It's the sour broth one.
So here's the thing. My mom used to make dishes that she knew we wouldn't like, or at least she'd tell us, no, you won't like this. And she'd eat it for herself, but she never told us names. The only ones that I knew were like...
The typical one, adobo.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, adobo is the most common one, right? Sinigang is the sour broth.
Is that the one with fish too?
Well, you could do it with fish. You could
I
do
think
it
she
with...
used to make it with fish.
I do it with fish because it's easy. But you could do it with pork. You could do it with shrimp. You could do it with beef. There's a version, they don't call it sinigang, but you could do it with chicken. But it essentially the same. So sinigang and like the soupy, brothy ones are good. Nilaga is also pretty good. That's the one that's beef, and then you could do it with bone marrow. Now I'm like hungry now.
That is lunchtime. Actually, okay. What's one Tagalog word that you absolutely love, but doesn't translate well into English?
Oh, some of the curse words, really.
Let it roll. Let it run.
I love cursing. It's like putang ina. I know it.
What does that mean? I hear that one.
Well, essentially that's son of a bitch, but puta is like sex worker. Ina is mother. So I'm calling someone's mother a sex worker. That is so PC how I explain that.
I understand what you're saying though, because in a lot of languages, like in Arabic, because I used to speak Arabic, a lot of the swear words involve cursing a person's mother. And I believe it's like that too in Spanish.
Yeah. And that's like, puta is like the Spanish.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot it's like, putang ina, hijo de puta.
It's funny that this is what you thought of when I gave you this question.
Like, I really like, because it just captures it. When I'm really mad, that's like when Thomas knows I'm really mad.
So he knows those words.
He's very, like, he can say, he doesn't know Tagalog. He has no plans of learning it because he knows it annoys me. That's his goal every day in his life for the past 18 years. That's his goal. 19 if you include the time we were dating. And he can say it perfect accent. He was very proud when he met my mom. It's like, I can say putang ina. It's like, oh, very good. That's what my mom...
That's what she was hoping to hear from you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, very good. There's no accent. Jennie, he can say it with no accent. It's very good. And she was genuinely happy.
He's trying.
Curse words like puñeta, leche.
Leche, isn't that like milk?
Yes, but if you go to the Spanish meaning of that, and I always thought it's like, why am I cursing milk? And then I dug deep. It's like, oh, it means different in Spanish.
Okay, I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
Yes, and
Eddie figured that one out for me.
Yeah, if you have Latino friends, they would know. And puñeta, it's different when it hits.
Yeah.
It's like, so that would be...
Okay. I'm going to use that question for other Filipinos if I interview other
Of course.
Filipinos.
I'm probably the only one who's going to be...
You might have the best answer, so...
Yeah. But also my parents, even my grandparents, never, said, don't say that, that's a bad word. Not that I was, a prolific cursor, they cursed a lot too. So I grew up hearing that and not having problems
Okay.
with it. So
So is there a phrase that's like you curse like a Filipino instead of like a sailor?
no, no.
I'm just
Or
kidding.
you could just say you curse like Jenny.
Jenny.
You curse like Jenny.
Okay, last two questions. Any crazy stories you can share about the library, or is that off limits? I'm a big fan of like slipping and falling. I don't know,
No, not that. That's
because
like
just like downtown, I imagine
I
there's like a
know.
lot of crazy characters.
No, not really. There's a lot of interesting stories that happen in the library. I really can't think of anything right now that won't sound mean.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We don't want to get into that. That's for another episode, another podcast.
Yeah.
Final question. I know you're also a big fan of superhero movies. I've seen you at the theater.
Yeah. But they're crappy now. They're starting to get
Well, hold on,
crappier
hold on,
and
hold on.
crappier.
This year, there are so many movies I'm excited for. Are there any movies you're excited for this year?
What are what's funny is that every time we bump into the movie theater, that would be like the one or two movies that I would like drag Thomas to watching. I'm always a sucker for Superman. Even though it's like a bad version. I've always liked that superhero. I don't know why. When
The most popular superhero in the world.
when Batman was good, I think the Christian Bale era, Thomas kind of liked it. My brother was also like a super big Batman fan, so I kind of followed that. But this year, I am looking forward to movies that are not superhero movies. I miss watching good, just movies, and we kind of pick and choose what we watch now. I don't know. Maybe I'll drag my husband to watching He-Man.
That looks good, actually. I was never like into the cartoon because it was a little bit before.
It was
me.
before your time.
It was in
My brother was a He-Man fan. He had the figures, and I remember we watched the Dolph Lundgren one in the theaters. That after credit scene like made me jump. There is an after credit scene to that one. What else is coming out? But the ones that I'm looking forward to are like romance, something that will come out on Netflix. So I'll just be waiting for that.
Well, it's okay. You can list those.
Yeah. Love Hypothesis is coming out, which is based on a book. It's like very, very cheesy. Like the readers will know that. There's a lot of that happening. But I wanted to watch Peaky Blinders in the theater, but I wanted to do...
It was only in there for a short time, right?
I think it's still going, though. They're probably going to pull it before it goes on Netflix.
Yeah.
On
think
the
it is
20th. On the 20th.
Yeah. Might end up at like Playhouse or something.
Maybe. I'll watch it there. I'll...
Have you been
want to do
to
a
any of the...
rewatch.
At the Playhouse, sometimes they'll do these interactive... What do they call them? Okay,
Like
interactive
Rocky?
movies. No, like where the audience are allowed to like cheer on and talk. Yeah.
I did once, and this was pre-pandemic. I went to the... I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. On concession, the Zoetic. They did Sound of Music. So it's pretty close to Shoppers. And people were singing. So we're like... Yeah, I like Sound of Music. So
We went to one that was for Twilight. Oh my God, the girls made me uncomfortable. Kylie and I also printed shirts. Like we were team
Were you Team Jacob?
Jacob.
Please, you're Jacob, right?
I was Team Jacob, he was Team Edward.
And my brother's name is Eddie, so I was like,
Oh, okay. So
I'll be Team Edward. But
Rocky Horror, like every Halloween.
I've never actually watched that.
A guy I was dating before Thomas like made me watch it, and I think, and I have this thing. It's like if someone like really likes a movie and then they insist on me watching it, my tendency is like,
No,
I don't
not
like
really.
it. I got forced into watching it, so I probably need to do a rewatch.
Isn't it like a bit of a musical?
Yes,
Yeah, that's probably
And it
why I
was-
wouldn't watch it.
but who was Curry? Tim Curry was like the trans
I
singer.
don't know Tim Curry.
Tim Curry is the original It Clown. He was original Pennywise.
Oh, I don't like clowns either. There's a lot of things I don't like. There's
Oh,
probably
God.
a short list of things I like.
You're just giving me ideas on what to send you. Hey,
I'm just gonna stop opening the
I'm
messages.
just sending
on-
you pictures, like tagging you on all clown posts. I do that to one of my friends. It's just like, do you want this
You're just
blanket?
mean spirited. I didn't know that about you.
Just Pennywise clown blanket. Like, I'll send
I
it
think
to
I
you.
watched the first It movie, like the new one. I don't know if I watched the second one.
I was shot around here. The
A
second one.
lot of movies are shot around here, which is
Love
so
that.
cool.
That's one of my things. Like watching something I heard, like if I hear it was shot in Hamilton.
Like that, the most hyped up one recently was that.
Heated rivalry. I don't even like the theme. That's not the romance genre I like. It was Annabelle and another friend that I met online, Nanny, who's like a public librarian in the Philippines. He was like, do you know this show, Heated Rivalry? It's like set in Canada. And then when I watch it, it's like, dude, it was shot in Hamilton. It's like, what? And now it's like, blah, 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 blah. So, and some of my friends started watching it when I told them that it was shot in Hamilton. It's like those places I walk by a lot.
Yeah.
So they wanted to like know where
It's movie
I live.
magic. They made it seem a lot
Nice.
cooler. Yeah, a lot nicer.
The one that I was kicking myself in the butt, like, why did I know this? Memory of a Killer. It's airing now. It's Patrick Dempsey. And they were shooting on John Street, and they used Capri, the restaurant, as one of the settings. It's like Dr. McDreamy was like a couple of blocks away from me, and I never saw him.
Yeah.
It's like even Richard Gere and Jason Momoa was also around here.
That's a lot of celebrities have been here. That's the crazy part. I don't know. We were just watching a movie like last month or something. It was the one where there's a serial killer with his daughter at a concert.
Oh, that was Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a M. Night Shyamalan.
And then I was watching that. I was like, that entrance looks like the entrance at First Ontario
Ontario.
Place. And
TD Coliseum.
Yeah, I looked it up. I was like, what? That is that? Oh
Yes,
my God.
we did hear that. Like when they were shooting it, someone at work was like, I think I just walked by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, it was him.
It was him. And even like when I was watching it, I didn't tell Thomas where it was, and it was like, was this shot in Europe? I know those bathrooms.
Yeah.
Like I know those doors. I know that hallway. So he still calls it Cops because it was Cops Coliseum and then First Ontario and now
And now
it's
TD,
TD
yeah.
Coliseum. Yeah, there's a lot. I actually did a display in Barton when I was in Barton, like I think I called it Made in Hamilton, and everything that I could find that was shot
It's a
in
long
Hamilton.
list. I wanted to do a series like that. I started it last year. I did 2 locations, and they did particularly well on TikTok. And then I just got busy doing other stuff. But I'd like to explore that again this year. Maybe we could do a joint. Like
I'll watch the movie with you. Like
Yeah,
I'll
it's like-
point out where it was.
on location. Yeah.
Mayor of Kingstown was like the first season was all over the place. There was a drone shot where it actually showed Barton Library. So I was like, hey, that was it. And that area of Barton, they shoot a lot of things there, and we'll get the notice that someone's shooting, and we always bug the
I
production.
think Jack Reacher was just filming there with Alan.
Alan Richardson.
Yeah, I love that show, so I'm excited for that season.
I want to see him. I want to bump into him because I want to feel tiny.
I think he would make a fantastic Batman because in the comic books, Batman is portrayed like as a huge guy.
Mm-hmm.
He would make a very different, interesting
take on him, right?
Yeah.
Well, he was Aquaman in Smallville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he played that, but he was so skinny. He was like maybe a quarter of his size.
Yeah.
Right now, that's my dream. It's like meet like really tall people. I want to meet all of the Ticats players because they're really big guys. I want to feel tiny.
All right, Jenny, this is not one of those podcasts, okay?
No.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, this was great. I intended this to be pretty short, but I've had such a great conversation with you. It ended up being like a fantastic. I don't know how long this is, but
You're talking to me. It's gonna be chismisan. We can go on for like an afternoon.
Well,
Let's go to Mandarin now.
No, I gotta stop. Since they built the one at
Barton.
Yeah, since it's like 5-minute drive for me, I have gone more to Mandarin than I've ever in my life since they opened up near me, and it's been.
You gotta don't go, and then my birthday is around June. I have a feeling I'm gonna go. Like, who's up for it?
You get free dinner.
I
there
know
on your
my birthday falls on a Monday.
Well, you can do it for the month or for a week.
Really?
Yeah, because we found it out for Eileen's birthday.
Okay. There's a buffet in the Philippines, Vikings. I think they do it like if it's still your birthday month.
Oh, wow.
So, Vikings. But here, I've never gone like on the day of my birthday. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try and
get
see.
the
and
meat
convince.
sweats.
I have to prepare myself for it. Like I almost like fast for like 2 days before now because I feel sick after.
Yeah. So I have this challenge actually that gets me sick. I've been trying to do it, but I'm trying to not actually complete it because I'm worried it'll be like the last thing I'll do. But they have these little creme brulees there.
How many you're gonna eat?
So my challenge is 10. We call it the 10 brulee. But after eating like 4 or 5, I can feel like an increase, like, I don't know, palpitations or something. I'm like, oh no, I'm not supposed to do this. But my brother's always like, 10 brulee, 10 brulee. And I worry now that this is like something that if I hit that marker, it might be the last thing I'll ever do.
That's the last thing you'll ever eat.
Yeah. And I worry about that. So it's gotten in my head now. And I'm just like, I want to be that challenge, but I also want to. Blood
pressure is not high score.
Yeah.
The same with blood sugar, sweetie.
Yeah.
No, it's not supposed to go high.
Well, that's how numbers work,
Yeah. I laughed so hard when I saw that. It's like, I think it's a high score. It's like it kept beeping. I think I won something.
I think
they were impressed. Go across the street for lumpia. It's like, it's such a bad combination, but you know what? I'll do it again.
Yeah. No, I was completely exaggerating on that video. It was just, these were all locations that we either had to go to or we were nearby. And I thought it would just be so funny to.
It's hard. Like, I've been doing that, like, post. So far, it's like I'm doing it, a post a day, but it's just, I'm running out of ideas. Sometimes I'm just like, it's a door. I just posted a picture of a door. I don't care. It's a door.
It's better than nothing. I mean, I think you just get either better at it or, well, hopefully.
It's better when I post it through the Tita page instead of I haven't really been posting on my own page. It's easier to post through a persona, even though it's still me.
Yeah.
It's easier. So, yeah. So I think I notice I post a lot about food.
Yeah, same with ours. We slowed down with our posting, but when we do, it's usually about food. And then we'll do these like monthly recaps of just photos we've taken. Yeah. And like 6 out of 10 photos are just like places we ate.
But I did get that idea from you guys because at the end of the year, like you guys said, you did you challenge yourself to post every day. And I'm like,
16 months straight.
16 months, all right.
That was the craziest. But then now, like I'm doing like once or twice a month, and The funny perception about that is like people are still coming up to me, like, "Oh, I love your posts. You guys are killing it." I'm like, I have not been posting. It's just the ones that you have seen may have done like well or were funny, but but that's the whole point of like doing this podcast is like to have a different, interesting thing to post now. So we'll have some more. Hopefully, we'll get some good clips out of you for this.
I don't know, just a lot of putang na. I don't know, like hopefully you got something interesting about it. It's good. Like I love that you guys keep coming over. I didn't really think you guys would come back
To the
to the conversation circles.
I actually look forward to it every year. Or every month. My favorite is when there are more people. Like it just, I don't know. It feels more interactive when you have more people there. I wish more people,
more regular people come.
Yeah, when I get people, I'll get busy. But I try to be mindful every second Thursday. I try not to book things. It just can't be helped sometimes.
Yeah. It's just same here. Sometimes I forget. It's like, oh, let's do something for fun. Oh, this is like same as work. Thursday? Oh, there I had a meeting.
Yeah.
Which is, and I won't be there next month because I'll be in Ottawa. The month after that, I'm on vacation. So
then you have time to come.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
to come.
Anyway, thank you for coming.
All right, wait, coffee. All right. Uy, so formal, Tito Dave.
I don't know. What?
No!
What do you think I was going to do?
I know what you're going to do.
I was going to shake your hand.
Yeah, no, you're going to pull
Come on,
in
let
and
me
do
just shake my hand.
If you, mano, I will kick you.
No. Thank you. And that's that. That's a wrap.